Hi, this is Rosemary Bonica,
Hello, this is Francis Patrick,
and
and
this
this
is a
is
safe
Safe
space.
Space.
Today, we are going to be talking about a very, very sensitive topic. I'm scared I might cry in this episode. This could be the one. I shed tears.
Mm,
Mm.
I'll try. Where's this handkerchiefs? I don't know why I'm supposed to laugh at it, but we
Yeah,
have tissues
yeah.
around here.
We are going to be talking about generational traumas slash generational issues that we will not be passing down
To
to
other
our
generation.
children,
Ah,
to our grandchildren, to the children. Hey, at the top of my mind is poverty.
imagine
But
your child watching this years later.
yes, I better keep to my word. But I'm sure. I'm rich.
I'm rich. I'm rich.
There's wealth in me
I'm.
waiting to
I'm.
unfold. So, guys, that's what we'll be talking about this episode. Things that have been within our families that, not to say that our parents have not done the best that they could.
Or maybe your parents haven't done the best they could, but
Our parents have done the best that they could with the resources that they have had at their time.
yeah.
We have more knowledge, we have more resources in our hand, we are at a benefit to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but from the things that we've seen, we're going to be talking about the negatives actually. Maybe we'll have a topic
Time for
on
positives.
positives,
Yeah.
but things that they did that we were like, nah, this shall end here, this shall end here, and I'm not bringing down. This is a very sensitive topic. Take it with grace. We're extending grace. I repeat, not to say that our parents have not done
Or maybe your parents haven't done enough.
the best that they could. I know my parents, if they could do more, they would have done more. But they've done what they've managed to do with what they've had. So yeah, so
You know,
we
I
should keep
think
that
this
in
episode
mind.
is going to be very short, intense. You find something that relates, just poke it somewhere in the comment section. Ooh,
Okay, I have a lot.
I have a few.
In
I have a few. I don't have
fact,
a
I'm
list
going to
here.
even narrow it down. I'm going to narrow it down. I'm going to narrow it down to
Hey,
like here at the top I have like 6 points, and then in my head I have like, I don't know,
I have five,
two.
but I think there's so much that we will share.
Okay, you start. You start.
Oh,
Yes, you start.
okay. First thing that comes to the top of my head, but
Mm.
I feel like this happens in a lot of families, and I'm experiencing it now because I'm young.
Mm.
So if you go through literature, it's about love. Okay, so people
Mm.
who are going to be studying about love, anything, there's agape love, and there's what phileo among friends, and there is eros among lovers, and then there is stereo among family. Okay,
Okay.
so this is something I call the curse of stereo love. That love you have between people who are inside your family. Okay, and the
Mm.
curse of it is that it is so much bent on duty. Okay, and people
Mm.
in your family feel like because you are born in the same space, whether it's your father, your mother, or children, they feel like they naturally know you.
Mm.
Okay,
There's no even room for.
there isn't, so they don't really do that. So they don't make effort as your friends. Your friends make effort to know
Mm.
you, know what you want and what you don't. But sometimes with family, because it just goes unaware, we feel like because I've grown up with you, I feel like I know you. I don't feel like I have to make that effort. And so,
And then there's this thing where even if you've moved to somewhere else and you have developed new things, they
yeah,
want to hold on to the part of you that they think they know, and they don't
exactly,
want to give you room to
exactly.
be a different person.
Yes, because they have grown comfortable to deal with you, to deal with the version of you that they have grown up with. And when you come back grown and new, when they feel like they're losing control, they make effort to bring you back in that box.
It's a matter of control, and it's a matter of like benefiting. Most people are not okay with letting go with the versions of people that people were before, because they see with this new version they cannot rip off the benefits that they had with the previous version.
And you're changing. That's why most of us, at the moment you leave home and you grow in some areas, the further you go in life, the more estranged you are with your family. And when you go back home, you have to tone down, you have to be a certain way, because everybody that feels like they know you. It's very hard. Even if you want to try new things, your family can be the most resistant people, or the people who will just be watching in the sidelines. They won't even be like your biggest support at that moment. Very few of them might understand, but that is the curse of this story love. They feel like they just naturally know you.
That is so sad. A few days ago I saw on a friend's status, she said, yes, blood is thicker than water. Remember there was the previous episode we did and I said something like that, yeah? And she said, yes, covenant blood is thicker than womb water. Ooh, I know. I said it, I'm like, God, I need to sit on that. I need to sit. Yes, because what she was like, the choices you have made have more importance compared to the family that you're born into, because that was circumstantial. But the choices that you're making now on the people that you want in your life, the covenants that you're making now, that's on you. That's on you. And that's actually that's more important. Of course, even if you're born in the family and it's circumstantial, you still have to consciously make a choice.
You will, yeah.
Yes, to make covenants with these people for like a better relationship, to get to know them, to get. And I was like, girl.
Hey, someone said you are born looking like your dad, and you die looking like your decisions. Yeah.
Oh God, hey. that really, you just can't be. You can't be free. Yeah. You're so caged. By the way, did I tell you that I changed the theme of this year? It's no longer 2020 me, guys. I said I can change it anytime.
I'm starting it again, by the way. I'm doing fireworks tomorrow. Something's not going.
Yes, this theme year for me now, it's 2023. This year I'm just gonna be free.
Gonna be free.
Yes, free to be whoever God is choosing for me to be this year. Say what I've said. Okay, I'm getting to. Hey, I don't even know where to start.
Start with something.
Okay, let me start with a bit of a strong one. One of the things I'm certainly working on right now, so as not to pass down to my children, is communication and respecting my child's opinion, hearing them out, even when they're children, they're 4, they're 5, they're 6, they're 7, they're teenagers. I want to hear the side of the story. I don't want my word to just be final at any time. There are times where, as a parent, I know better for sure, and it's just gonna be the way it's gonna be. But there are certain times I want to hear them. I want to hear what they're saying, and I want to hear why they're reluctant in this area, and I want to hear the side of the story. I want us to be able to communicate. I don't want them to be afraid of me. I want them to respect me, but to be able to tell me what is going on in their lives. And like the families, most of the African families we have grown in, when Baba says something, that's just it. Whether you like it or not, whether your point is more reasonable, sometimes it could be. But sometimes, of course, he knows better. But sometimes, even though his point is reasonable, but hearing your side of the story just validates it. Sometimes it's not that things should now go your way. They're like, you're communicating something to your child. You say, I want you to sleep at 7, and then your child is reluctant. He's like, but mama, I don't want. I want to sleep at 10. And you ask them, why do you want to sleep at 10?
Who asks?
Now, this is me assuming my parenting. Guys, by the way, when I'm a parent, we'll come and discuss this again. But for now, This is it. I want to be able to ask them, why do you want to sleep at 10? And they say, maybe because I want to spend more time with you, or I just want to be on my phone more, or I just want to,
Why?
oh,
I'm
of course.
trying to get you to bed so I can spend
Yes.
time with your mother. Please go sleep.
Yes. See, I will just hear the side of the story. But even after they say, I'll say, okay, I hear you out, but we're still sleeping at 7.
Now, let me tell you something that I think could cause another problem. Could cause another problem. I'm facing this now, but I have even before. The problem with you wanting to listen to what I'm saying like it matters and then still deciding what you want, it causes another effect.
Again, yeah.
Yeah,
This is
like mom hears. Mom doesn't care what I say. I know she's always going to. Man, I think children. There is a line. I haven't drawn it yet, but
yeah,
there is a line.
yeah, I know.
There's a very thin line between me knowing that my father listens to what I'm saying and
Mm.
that his decision just is just better, you know.
Yeah, but what I just don't want is not to listen to my children and them not to feel safe communicating whatever they want to communicate with me, because I just never hear them out. Hii concept here, everything should be a no, no going here, no going there, no going out, no going. Sometimes it really doesn't work.
I think parenting evolves. It evolves.
Yeah.
So I think something that we should pass down. The first thing is our children to to realize and respect the authority in the house.
Mm.
So for me, I think the way my mother has actually done it, I've not been given like no's all the time, but I just know where the authority is,
Mm.
and I trusted in those days that the authority isn't perfect, but it does decisions based on my good because parents will just make mistakes. But again, it literally evolves later when you start having people who can reason inside of
Mm.
your house.
Mm.
Because me as a 5-year-old, I'm very stupid by the way.
Mm.
I'm like, the next best thing is ice cream, whatever. I just want that because I'm not thinking 5 days,
Mm.
how much time you need to be an adult in your house. At that time, parenting actually needs to change. This is a grown ass person. They might not have emotional resentment, but they're not thinking that this is bullshit. You've been doing this for a while. So if we remain teachable, it's going to be
The
just
key
fine.
is to be teachable. That's the key.
Which is hard.
Yeah, I know. Being grown up does not mean you know everything. Being old does not mean you're wise. Wisdom is not age.
Because there are so many people who
Yeah, they're stupid old people. It's true. It's true. And they're wise young people. As much as they're wise older people, and they're learning from what you have experienced will give you wisdom. But you might be experiencing things and you're not learning anything from them and you're 80.
true.
That is not a guarantee that now you have seen a lot. It does not mean that you might have seen a lot and not learned anything. And the person might have lived only 20 years of their life and they might have learned very reasonable, valuable life lessons.
Let's pass down parenting that grows, that learns, that evolves, and let us understand that our children need to revere to authority.
Yeah, both. Now
Yeah,
to find the balance, we'll find, but I repeat, I still do not want to be authoritative.
I watched an episode today, and today just because I before I came here, and this guy is comforting a kid who just lost her father, and the family is just on the run, and he's very calm with them. And this lady sees him and says, "You're very good with kids." And he says, "It's very easy with children. Just don't treat them like they're idiots.
Mm,
Just don't treat the kid like they're idiots, because the moment they can just tell the difference, it's already condescending." Yeah,
they're humans, you know, eh?
and that is where we fail in transition. There is a time where I am the authority in my house. Now it's time to revere to authority, and then there is a time now I have to start tuning that you are now understanding things, even though I know. And again, parents, future parents who came before me, who is not a parent yet, I don't think knowledge to life is automatic just because you are, you're grown.
You know, I have a question for you. Would you want your kids to be able to check you when you're wrong? For example, let me give an example. For example, you're constantly telling your children, do not yell when you're trying to communicate something. And then one day you're angry and you start yelling. And then your child tells you, Mama or Baba, I hear what you're saying, but you don't have to yell. How would that make you feel?
If my child tells me that, I'll be looking at myself
Mm-hmm.
because that's me. I'm like, if you don't have to yell, don't. Okay, if you don't have to yell, don't.
Exactly. Now hearing it from your child, because now you lost your temper, and you know, from the parents that we have grown into, you cannot say that.
Yeah, I know.
You cannot, unless you want to sleep out of the house. You cannot say that. Would you be able to accept such a feedback from your child? Even though our parents expect us not to yell at them, but they are constantly yelling. That is very, that is very. Oh God,
But
these
for
things
me,
sometimes.
I can't preempt saying that I want them to tell that back to me. But in that very moment, if they do, I will understand who's doing it is. Straight. And then I will decide if I'm going to react with noise or not. But right now I can't remember saying, oh, I want my child to speak back like that. Where?
But that is assertive.
Woo!
I don't know. There should be a biblical guide to this. Okay, I'm sure there is. I need to read the Bible. Okay, next.
Hey, I'm doing the next. Something I'm not. I'm worried. But anyway, 6 years ago I started listening to Miles, and he was speaking about fatherlessness. Okay, not men have become social abdicators. They just leave the home setting, they abandon their responsibilities. But again, just because the father is inside the house doesn't mean the father is fathering you. And something, whether it is you who is watching, whether it's me, that's big time. Should I choose to be a father? Well, something that I want to really pass down is being present, not in attendance. Not that I'm attending my home as the man in the family, being present as the male in the family. And I'm speaking this as a male child, and every male child that is gonna be in your house, or if you're a male child right now, first we are always looking for models, male models in our lives. That's the first thing we look for. And lacking that is a Yeah.
It's not, those things come in easy. When you grow up and your brain has finally developed, now what you'll be doing is 2 jobs. Because in the beginning you had an empty canvas and you were drawing something.
Yeah.
Now what you have to do is clean that canvas first, and then put in new habits, and then ingrain those habits. Well, when you're a child, all you had to do was just pick up those habits. Oh God, unlearning is harder than learning.
You know, the basis of culture is even a child starts to learn. You they don't start reasoning, but they start learning what goes and what doesn't. So if a child is in a family, which is saying, let's say some child is in a family where let me give Mimi an example. I've grown in a family. I've not had my father shout at my mom. Now that is a comfortable example for me. That doesn't go. I don't like shouting. I don't shout at women. It's just not something that clicks in my head, because at the very basic, the very precepts of the culture in a home, father, don't shout at mother. At least not when we're just looking at each other, because that is something that is comfortable. It's just ingrained in my head. So second thing, if you're in a negative environment, it is all the same. You feel bad in the beginning, but in your head it goes. So if someone lives in a family where the father is, beating the mother in front of them, they will be uncomfortable about it. But what they're learning in the back of their heads is that in a family setting, that goes.
It's okay.
Exactly. It's good. Oh, it happens.
It's not shocking.
So when they will do it, the impulse won't be, oh man, I should never hit my wife again. It is easy for him, because in the back of his head, it's like, I'm comfortable with this, and that's a problem. So just understanding that how much us being in our families it affects that environment, and being present, and actually, you could be in your house
being engaged in your children's lives, being engaged in your wife's affairs.
Man, I was meant to. But let's finish with that. It's being a present father is something. Being a present father and being engaged, it's one of the most powerful things.
Imagine I placed yelling as a different point.
Well, you have yelled now. So.
Third point.
You're helping brother.
Yeah. One of the things, this is not very strong. It's just something that, that I will not be passing down to my children, is the fact that resting is unproductive. Sometimes resting is productive.
Yeah, true. It's a very strong point.
Hii fear ya kwamba when mom is around, everybody should be on the move, working, no lying down, no sitting, no, mama has entered the kitchen, everybody is working, pretend, stress, people, the stress level is you can sit and rest, you can nap. It's okay. It's okay to nap. It's okay to sit down. It's okay to take time off. It's okay to be resting and rejuvenating. I'm not saying that you should be lazy. Work. Sometimes, if you have accomplished your task, that thing in African homes where you've done everything, but when the parents enter, / mom enters, something must be found that is wrong, just so that you do. Yani ni ile kujishughulisha bila mpangilio. Like sometimes you're even working on something that this is why you find those people, this is so triggering for me. I want people to know, by the way, I've already told myself in my heart that I will be the home that when people come they can rest. I will be that home, not just for my children, by the time they'll be nephews and nieces. I'll be that home. I want them to know if they go to Auntie Rosie, they can sit. There is certain assigned tasks, okay? And if they're accomplished, you can sit down and be on your phone and read a book and watch TV, and I will not bother you. And I will not tell you why you're sitting. And I will not give you an eye and I will not tell you you're a woman, you should be on the move. If certain tasks have been accomplished, you can rest. In fact, rest is constructive. If you're constantly on the move, this is why people have issues with their mental health. Running around, moving back and forth. People are running, going nowhere. They're just running so that they can prove that we're moving. What's that? Honestly, In my home, people will rest. People will rest. I'll teach my kids to rest. I'll teach my kids we can go on vacation and do nothing because we've been working all year. I'll teach my kids on Sunday, after we praise the Lord, we come back home, we order food. We don't even want to wash dishes. We order food, we eat, we just talk and play games and rest. And that's okay. And that's okay.
There is no rest for the weekend.
Mm,
There is no rest for the weekend.
we can rest in the Lord. Please. Next.
Hey. Anyway, for families that are already practicing this, but this is just men and women, husbands and their wives.
Mm,
Support your wife. Support your wife, and you support your husband.
you have a support issue.
Yes, but no, I don't have a position. But marriage is exponentially hard if you don't have genuine, rejuvenating support from time to time. You know,
Mm,
just make that thing compare you guys are living together. Make it make sense.
that also applies to parents supporting their children.
True.
I.
True.
You come with an idea. At least be. This is why I'm saying. This is why I'm saying that parents should first be able to hear. Okay, you come with like there, especially in our generation where there's been no room for like exploring careers in terms of I don't know, talent and stuff. You ask for us, you go to study, okay. But in some cases, I think it's very wise and important to hear out what your child is saying and to listen to the ideas and to see how you could help them achieve what you think is important, okay, and what they deem as important. Because sometimes what they're coming with could be their path, could be their purpose, could be the way they're gonna be rich, and it could be monetized. So if you're not willing to support your child because you think you're all knowing, or sometimes they have an idea and it just needs a little bit of support and a little bit of rejuvenation. Sometimes they have ideas, and I wish I could go and tell my parents, like, I have this idea, but I can already assume the response, so I sit with it. And I know if I went and told them, maybe they could have, if they came from a positive mindset, then we could have reached somewhere further. But since now you have to do it on your own with no parental support, it's sad.
I testify because as a family in cohesion, if you guys are throwing support around, you guys can do a lot. And not only parents supporting children, even children supporting parents, literally. And I'm not speaking about like overworking at home. Nah, that's not the kind of support I mean.
I have a point here.
Yeah, because for me, I think a father like me, my mom, when I meet her, we talk, and she tells you stuff, and usually you help out because she doesn't feel like you can't teach her anything, you know. So it's like, oh, my business is going on today. What do you think I should improve here? And honestly, your children are moving around a lot and they're seeing things, and that's always the way it's going to be because the world is moving too fast and you can't catch up after a while. So they can support you, you can support them, and sometimes support is not. For me, my parents did. I'm sure today if I ask them what they paid fees for in university, they don't know what I studied. They can't spell it in full. They can't. But believe me, they came to my graduation and they kept paying money. And they say I'm going for conferences and they're still paying money. And they're subtly supporting, just supporting like that. They never ask. When they do ask, I know what to say and they forget eventually. 3 months later, things are hard. Oh, come home, convention. What are you doing? I am doing one, two, three. So there is that kind of support, that you have. Many people are like, how did your parents let you go study animation? How? My brother is a doctor, by the way, so I didn't fall in that when I just said there is something that I want to go do, and wholeheartedly like, okay, let's go apply. Just dig too much into
I
it.
see my parents
I'm
leave the
lucky.
church.
I'm lucky. I'm lucky. Yeah.
I see them leaving the
In that
church.
area.
That's not gonna work.
Somebody left.
A long time ago. A long time ago. Okay. I'm going to believe they know better. Okay.
Yes, doctor. Yes, doc.
Okay, the next point I have is parentification.
What?
Parentification.
What is parentification? I feel like this is coined.
This is a very thin ice to skate on.
Let's skate.
Like there's this thing. This might almost go like hand in hand with black tax. But that I will not pass down. I rebuke. I will not pass down to my children. There is this thing where parents forget that even though they can communicate with their children, that these people are still children and there are boundaries that have to be, those, especially single mothers or mothers who are going through trouble with their marriage. You become a therapist. You become an emotional regulator. You become, not just in terms of emotion, even in terms of finances sometimes. I thank God I didn't go through that at the most. But like there are certain parents that they like, especially they try, like for example, a mother is going through an issue with the dad. They come to you and they try to put you on their side. Oh, your daddy did this, did that. And then dad comes, but most of the time the men don't have time for this. But but especially the women. Or when a child has succeeded, there's an entitlement.
True.
There's an entitlement. Of course, the child themselves has to be. I think sometimes most of the actually this is, of course there's an exception, but most of the children that have been raised in a loving home, in a supportive home, do not forget their parents. They become rich, you think they will not go back? They go back, they provide. But those that have gone through issues, that want to leave, will not return. And funny enough, those are the ones that have parents that are very entitled. And by the way, I think most people should realize, when you decide to have a child, when you have made the decision to produce a child,
another human being,
to produce, that is a decision, by the way. You have decided to procreate, you have decided to work together with God to make an individual in your womb. You have decided to provide some materials to make an individual. You should know it comes with responsibility. You shouldn't expect, it is not a privilege. Of course, it is not a privilege to provide to a child. Of course, there are more who are given more than others, but you have to provide for your child. You have to, it is a responsibility. Child,
at least you should prepare.
Yes, a child has to be provided for. So, emotionally, spiritually, educationally, basic needs, financially, to at least for 18 years.
At least then when they're equipped, they can,
Yes, that is a responsibility. And of course, some are more spoiled than others, but the bare minimum, then you have to provide. So if you expect, because now I'm providing, this child has to come back and, but no, this child did not choose to be here. At the same time, this child also has to learn that their parents are doing the best they can to provide for him or her. So they should be thankful. But this issue of entitlement, one being entitled, the child being entitled, and the parents being entitled. Nobody should be entitled.
True.
Nobody should be entitled. The child being, but in the case of parent entitlement, me, I really don't want to pass that down. I don't want to be or to feel. I thank God my parents, but I'm yet to know.
Yeah, yet to know. You wait, you quote money, catch money. Phrase is
Yeah,
to know.
this issue of sijui now my child is successful now, why aren't you sending money now? What? I rebuke. I shall provide generational wealth. I shall be a blessing to my children. I shall be a blessing to my grandchildren. Not needing now. Anyway, let's proceed.
You know, parenting. We being a mother or being a father now in the biological sense is easier than ever. You know, people are not wondering. Actually, not in every area. I'm living in a country that is very, very peaceful. People are not wondering if they are going to die soon. Everybody is so relaxed, so it's very easy for you to have a child. So it has moved into an area where everyone, it's so convenient to just pop babies around. The heaviness of the responsibility of being a parent is gone.
You're going to be a parent for all your life, for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life, you're going to be a parent.
Yeah.
The moment you have conceived a child,
That's it. That's it. You're not a father. You'll be a father your whole life. It doesn't matter if the kid is gonna be there tomorrow. You're always
gonna
to be
be
a father.
yeah.
And that's something
It
they don't
doesn't
want
matter
to
the
press.
child is 90.
It doesn't matter.
Oh,
It doesn't matter if
he's
both of you are 100 and 150. You're still father. They're still
a child.
yeah. So
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Anyway,
These things are strong. I want to, when I have children, I want to be going for family counseling, for parental. I saw a pastor, he was explaining the way he goes for parental counseling, not just marriage counseling. Parental, first of all, there should be more parents counselors, especially in our country. Hey, in Africa in general. Hey, in Asia. Mm-mm. People should be counseled to do these things. You know, to think that we are working, we are studying for about 18 to 20 years, 25 years for a career that we can change anytime. And yet we are choosing to give birth to an individual who we are going to be stuck with for the rest of our lives. And and people do that without any form of knowledge. And they're just winging it. They're just winging it. Literally, they have no spiritual knowledge. They have no the Holy Spirit to guide them. They have not prayed about it. They are not taking. They have not read any book. It's shocking. It's shocking. Now, the moment you choose to wing it, you're going to be exactly like who your parents were.
Sometimes it can be worse.
Yeah.
Could be, because in the best case scenario, you are like the people you were. In the worst case scenario is that you're dealing with the effect of who they were, but you're still them. So it's packed. It's packed. You are at war within yourself and people who are around you. Like experiencing that. It's horrible.
It is.
It's horrible. Yeah. Something else. Something I'm so we're spending things we're not actually passing down.
Yeah.
Hey, I am not passing down the spirit of employment.
Ooh, I tapped into that.
Hey,
I tapped into that.
Nah, man, nah. I'm just saying this. Just saying this. I'm a kid.
It's the spirit.
I want my family to get up in the morning and go to work for a name. Hey, something I'm not passing down is the spirit of employment. Spirit of employment. I'm not saying no one is actually going to be employed, but this very notion that you build 30 years of your life, 35 years of your life, and then your children's life go to extended time in universities taking courses for just so they can come and be employed, it is cancerous and it is a disease. I'm telling you, if you can give this much energy to build something that someone else owns, imagine what could have happened if you put that energy in something that you want, or something that you own, or something that you're building.
The amount of discipline required to stay accountable to building your own thing.
Exactly. I hate employment so much because it God. Unless you're going there for something that is extremely specific, and by specific I mean you know what you want from the job, or there is like a lot of money, which is not something that all of us get. Growth or money or anything. Sometimes if you stay in that area long enough, you are attuned to do what you are given more than what you actually want to do.
But you do
you lose the
realize
personal initiative.
not everybody is built for entrepreneurship.
Okay, now
And there are certain jobs you're just gonna have to be employed.
true, like
Somebody wants to be a pilot at our own ndege.
you can own an airline,
You
but
can, but you see,
okay, you man, maybe there is jobs and jobs, but that is not pilots. It's not like there is the people who study being a pilot is the same number of people who study, let's say, educational courses. You see, so where the mass is actually going, well, actually, entrepreneurship is interesting. You might not be the person who is fit for entrepreneurship like yourself. That does not mean you can't start businesses on your, you may not be alone. You work with people. Just make sure you
most
are
of the
investing
time
in
we are
something.
told.
Yeah.
Most of the time we are told though, before you employ a person, make sure you know what they are going. But that really does, it removes the importance of delegating. But you should know what they are going to do.
It's important. It's important. Get employed, get some skills, go build something of your own. Do your 9 to 5, build something of your own. Even the Bible says you work mpaka jioni. After that, don't go and put your hands just lazy places. No, there's a time you're going to be employed, work on something else. Yeah, I've met people today. Even the nature of the employments, it's not the pressing kind. You become so valuable. The workspace is shifting around you. That's something. Is you yourself becoming value. That's something, because again, employment will brainwash you that I'm taking you because I'm more valuable than you are, and you're lucky to be here, and I'm giving you benefits.
But really
just,
you're not.
yeah,
And the moment they find a person who can do what you
they
can
will
do
replace you.
at a cheaper price,
They will
you're
replace you.
gone.
So you might enter the workspace, not the thing itself, and you might not have so much value, but during the years, build your skills, build your network, become something, become a business yourself. Even if you can't start a business, you yourself become a business. Work for yourself sometimes, put your resources together. Manze.
I will teach my children financial literacy from when they can learn to speak and write. I'll start teaching them how to save, how to invest in the simplest form. I see these Instagram reels where they educate on how to teach your children on like we are not we don't know these things. We really don't. And the education system, by the way, you should do we should do a whole topic on what should have been taught in school.
True.
Maybe that should be our next topic, yeah?
Because the money that has been spent in the education system.
And yet we are not prepared for the world at all. At all. Literally at all. Honestly, I will teach my children on finances and financial freedom from when they're very young. I'll teach them on how to make money. I'll teach them skills on skills that they can use to make money. First, I have to teach myself.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's get that.
Okay. Another thing I'm not passing down to my kids is that that because I'm a grown up, I cannot apologize. I will apologize to my children if I've hurt them in a certain way, or if I've said something wrong, or if I've screamed and I've lost my temper. I will say I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Things the way my parents have left the chattel. African parents have left the chattel.
I've just lost my temper.
Actually, they left from the beginning.
I don't think they had the link to the group.
Yep.
The group doesn't exist.
I will teach my children that apology, and this thing is taught by seeing,
True.
So you're not gonna tell, you have to the moment you apologize, they know. The thing with us is that we forget that our children are literally copying everything.
Yeah.
They are literally they're looking at you, and if you see your child has temper issues, it is you.
Children imitate better than they listen.
Yeah.
They would sooner do what you're doing.
If you see your child is selfish, it is you. If you
Child.
see a child is loud, it is you, my friend.
Yeah, sometimes you
you.
see a quiet father. The kids are very,
Yeah, they're very
mellow.
yeah.
Like, it's cool. And then you meet a kid and they start shouting, and you're like, the mother is, or the father is should be shouting.
Mm.
You're passing them down. We used to live in Bagamoyo. We had a house rented, and we live with the locals there. And our neighbor was a woman, single mother. She just gave birth, and the kid is very young, and she's very resentful because we have the young man who was there actually left. The lady insults, man. She has insults coming out of her mouth like vocabulary. Now you will hear everything. Now, one night we're sitting, and they're shouting, and she's mad. The kid is not eating. She shout. You can even know everything that's happening because she's saying everything with insults. And she insults the kid and hits the kid. And then when she just stop talking, the kid speaks, and she says a word, an insult back to the mother, the same way the mother says it. But it just went to silent. Everybody had that shit. It was horrible. She got mad. When I saw this kid was just imitating. They just spoke back everything that they've just been hearing before. And they just said it. Pam pam. It was hot. That's what I just realized.
First of all, this issue of hitting kids, it will leave the chat, not for my children.
My G, I will not spare the road. But again, this is something that is actually, for me, I remember being hit with my father once.
Me, I think my mom has never hit me.
I don't remember why. So
My mom has never hit me. My dad, though. I can't count times. I remember the last time. Oh, I'm not gonna tell what happened, but I think I was like, I don't know. I think I was like in grade 5. The last time my dad hit me. Yeah, but my mom has never, like, with a stick. Maybe like yeah, or pulling my ears. But my mom speaks. Hey, my mom. Yeah. So, but this thing, I think communication. Again, we're yet to see. We're yet to see. There was a point I wanted to add on top of your point, and now it's gone.
Is it?
Yeah, I had it on top of my head, and then now.
What about being supportive?
No. God, let me just proceed. Okay, another point that. Oh God, no, I swear I need to remember it. It was. Shit. Let me just proceed. Another one. Another thing that I'm not gonna be doing with my kids is comparing my children with their siblings, with their cousins, with whoever child that is passing in class, whoever child that is more talented in a certain area than them. No, they are going to be individuals of their own. I am going to promote what they have, not in comparison with another. And even if they can sing, I'm not going to be comparing them to other children who can sing.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to be do that. The way that thing ruins. It ruins. So that is something I'm really not going with. Oh, your young brother, he can do this, he can do that. Oh, be more like your cousin. Oh, be more like who? Be more like who? By the way, if you do that, they're going to be comparing your parenting too.
They will. Inevitably. You compare them to people, and they compare themselves to people, and then they start comparing people to you.
That is something I'm not going to be doing to my children.
It's a whole game.
Yeah. One of the things I will not be doing to my children, that I will not be passing down, is speaking anyhow to them, or lowly, like how should I put that?
Condescendingly, maybe.
Yes, like literally the way I'm gonna select my words with my kids. You know those parents who ask you, "Where mbwa? What? Mama, not my children, not my children." Things like you are lazy. I rebuke. Things like I don't know, you will not get married. This is how you'll not get married. This is how you'll not get a husband. Because people are
It sticks.
and the word builds. We hear from the Bible, what comes out of your mouth is building. Me, not with my kids. Not with my kids. I will speak, I'll choose my words. May God help me. For sure, this one I have to pray for it intensely, because the way the intensity of this thing, I will not be just randomly yelling at my kids. If we're going to be talking, it's going to be constructive criticism, and it's not going to be putting labels. What I'm not going to be doing is putting labels on my children. You're fat, you're sick, you're fat. My family has left the chat. You're thin, you're not, I don't know, you're ugly. There are people, there are family members who do that. Yeah. You're ugly, you're not smart, you're not smart in class, you're lazy, you're not this, you're not that. The amount of your lazies that would come out of African parents. You lazy children.
I am selectively active. You should see me on the field. I'm working harder than you.
What field is called?
I'm a kid and I'm playing football.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If let's make it.
Yes. So I want to put on my children's heads positive words, and I want to have conversations. Even if we're talking about their physical structures, we're going to be talking about it in terms of health, in terms of nourishment, but not in terms of you are.
Definitive words.
Not my
things
children.
I can't control.
Now, I don't know. You're dumb.
Hey man.
Those things comes out. These things come out of.
My parents have done a good job. My father doesn't speak a lot. My mother, I've never had my mother saying, "You dog, you're stupid." I've never had that stuff.
You're stupid.
I've never had that. Oh, you're lazy.
You've never had you're lazy from your mom.
My mom says, "Stop laziness."
By the you see the difference, eh? You see the difference.
Yeah, there's a difference.
You are lazy.
Nah. Stop. This, if you don't want to
separate the person
from
the activity.
You are Francis and you're acting lazily. You can clean this stuff well. And if you do,
I've had you lazy a lot.
I'm not.
I've had you lazy. The number of times I've had you lazy is more than the number of times I'll ever hear you're beautiful. Unless, of course, my spouse starts saying you're beautiful from now until 20 how many years later. But the amount of time you're lazy, you are sleepy, you're constantly sleeping, you sleepy person, you are
but
you are stupid. Oh, my father has left the chat.
You say I'm stupid, and I'll ask you. Guess we all know what we have in common now.
Okay, guys. We have a lot. We have a whole list. We might even do this. We might even give this a part 2 maybe at the end of the year. Who knows? When there's a lot of feedback on this. Your feedback determines, by the way, if an episode gets a part 2 or not. Please comment down below all the things you are not living. By the way, these are the serious ones. There's also those unserious generational curses. Small things.
Everybody should check out.
These are the serious ones that we have consciously decided that we are not going to be passing down to our children, because.
But there is more.
Yeah, there's a lot more. I've done this dissection. I once wrote down in my notebook. It was like a month. I was trying to write a book, by the way, like a month where I was paying attention to every. I realized a lot. I was at home and I was paying attention to everything I see my parents are doing towards us, towards each other, and this is just towards children. There's towards each other. That I said I will not be passing this down. I will not be passing this down. I will not be passing this down. And guys, this list is a lot. We could talk for hours on end. So please comment down below 1 thing, 2 things, 3 things that you'll not be passing down to your children, 2 things that you're working on yourself, that you see that if you are not careful, it might pass down. 2 things that you're checking yourself on. Please subscribe, like, comment, share, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Yeah, if you have any
Bye-bye.
questions, don't hesitate to ask.
Please.
We'll see you guys next time.